Salamat pagi, salamat siang, and salamat malam. Salamat dating para Pajinta Basket Indonesia, Nabasaya Josh Bet. Sama-sama, baby. The final game here in Group A before we head to the Final Four. Well, a venue yet to be decided still between these two. Well, where it will be placed, of course, but it will be between the 29th of May and the 1st of June. Well, many fans rocking into the building tonight. The Bishrelt Metel fans, along with Broncos. Remember, Group B will be taking place later this evening. 8th, still undefeated, go up against Adelaide of Singapore. But for Metel fans, it's one final ride here in BCL Asia East. One final game, and all they want to see is a battle from their team. Well, we're going to get set now to introduce key players here from Pelita Jaya, a team that won the IBL championship last summer against their deep rival Satria Muda. Well, there you see Muhammad Origi coming out with Yesaya Saudale. Chris McCullough, one of their new import players, drafted in the NBA along with Agassi Guantada. Well, Reggie Mano Nimba and the likes of Vincent Kosasi, the #1 3-point shooter for Pelita Jaya. Well, the reintroduction of Jagori McLaughlin really has helped this team in the backcourt, as well as the leadership, the imperative leadership of their star player, KJ McDaniels. Spent many years, of course, playing alongside James Harding, but tonight a very special night, as indeed it's a debut game for head coach Justin Tatum. Well, Justin Tatum, well, that's his assistant coach, of course. Coach Tatum, originally from St. Louis, Missouri, had a brief career as a pro player playing in Europe at Aris Leeuwarden in the Dutch Basketball League, now of course known as the BNXT. But now let's introduce the key players tonight for Bishrelt Metel. Well, Metel's just got to give their fans something to give here tonight. Well, it was actually a good start for them here at BCL Asia East. Of course, winning their opening game against NS Matrix Deers in the opening window in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Well, no Byron Wesley tonight, so Saint Bayard, along with the likes of some of their other key players who did play very well. Well, Ayunsil's going to have a big game tonight, along with Isaiah. Now, Isaiah did become the leading scorer against Taiyuan Pilots. He had 23 points. Tonight, it's about pride. Bishrelt Metel, they've got to give their fans one final game. Head coach Evangelos Tsepelis, the Greek national, of course, not only is he coaching his last game in BCL Asia, 3 of the very finest coming from the Philippines, Japan, and Kazakhstan. Well, our referees from the PBA, we have Glenn Cornelio. From Japan's B League, we have Haruga Iwai. And from Kazakhstan, we have Alexei Stepanenko. Well, a big shout out and thank you to our referees who've done a magnificent job in all of our windows so far here in BCL Asia East. And they'll continue to do so here tonight for the final game of Group A. Our commissioner and technical delegate for tonight's game, the great Zheng Hong Tao, a man who works very respectfully and heavily with the Chinese Basketball Association. So again, a great crew we have here tonight. Well, very shortly, we're going to review the starting lineups of both Metel and Pelita Jaya. PJ, as they're known back in Indonesia. I've got a feeling KJ McDaniels, because he's been my go-to player, probably the most valuable player here in Group A. Just such a versatile player. Remember, spent that time playing with the Philadelphia 76ers in the NBA. Well, KJ will be, well, no, he's going to come off the bench. McLaughlin will be in the backcourt along with Vincent Kosasi, Agassi Gontada, Muhammad Origi, and Chris McCullough will make up the starting lineup. So a bit of a change tonight for PJ. Remember, win or lose, nothing will change. And there is the debutante. Welcome to the Basketball Champions League East. Asia East, excuse me. Justin Tatum could spend many years coaching college and high school basketball in the United States, but between 2003 and 2005, he was a pro player in Europe, in the Netherlands with Aris Leeuwarden. Well, tonight, Batsarig along with Zunik Bakhtar and Isaiah, 23 points against Taiyuan Pilots, while Nasambat and Saint Bayard will make up the positions inside. Now, the key thing tonight for Saint Bayard, he's got to stay out of foul trouble. Of course, against NS Matrix Deers, he did unfortunately foul out. But, he held his own in the paint in the early stages of that game against the likes of Joseph Obasa. But Coach Tsepelis, just again, it's about pride and playing for passion. Well, again, we'd like to welcome everybody watching live here on FIBA's international YouTube platform. Of course, no doubt, many fans in Indonesia will be watching. So to all of our Indonesian fans, wherever you are in the world, selamat pagi, selamat siang, selamat malam, selamat datang pada pecinta basket Indonesia. Let's get this one started. Semangat PJ. And of course, to all of our Mongolian fans, Sembanu, Sembatsanu. Bayaklar, thank you everybody for joining us. Well, again, this magnificent competition, BCL Asia East, a revamp of the BCL Asia qualifiers. 8 teams, 2 groups, 5 windows, and then we'll have a Final Four. 24 games in total. It's been a fun ride. But which 2 teams will book their tickets to the 2025 FIBA Basketball Champions League Asia? Remember, a venue still yet to be decided. Of course, Pelita Jaya, along with Ennis Matrix Diaz last season, did make it through the qualifiers. And in fact, it was in this arena, the game they had in which Justin Brownlee went on turbo mode in the final minutes of the 4th quarter in BCL Asia qualifiers, defeating the Broncos. But tonight, the game, as mentioned, it's about pride for these 2 teams. Coach Tatum getting some final words in with his players. Of course, prior to coming to PJ, was head coach of the Illawarra Hawks in the Australian NBL. So a new challenge for him. Well, the reintroduction of that man, Ja'Cory McLaughlin, has really helped out Pelita Jaya. Of course, both Andikawa Prestau and Anthony Bean unavailable for BCL Asia East. Of course, a big shout out to Prestau. Press, speedy recovery to your injury, my friend, and hopefully see you back on the floor very, very soon. But going back to Bishrelt Metel, Coach Zepelis, I mean, he was very pleased to see his team compete, very hard in the first half against the #1 team here in Group A. But tonight, the challenge gets even tougher. You're up against the defending champions of Indonesian Basketball League, the mighty Pelita Jaya, of course, last summer winning their 4th IBL championship. As mentioned, a very exciting 3-game series against their arch rival Satria Muda. The addition of Chris McCullough this season, the return of Ja'Cory McLaughlin. This team is ready for play. Well, the Metel players know defense has got to be key. It's going to be tough keeping players like McLaughlin. Now remember, no James Dickey tonight. He's just down with an injury. Of course, unavailable, but hopefully he'll be back in time for the Final Four. But Metel's objective, prevent second chance points, keep PJ off the offensive rebounds, and try to get as many transition buckets as possible. Well, here we go. It is indeed going to be Sembayar 99 jumping this one with McCullough. Welcome, everybody. BCL Asia East, final game of Group A. Pelita Jaya up against Bishrelt Metel. Well, Metel going into man-to-man. Well, Kosasi wide open, but now McCullough's going to fire the 3 wide open. Can't get it. Sembayar getting the rebound. Because PJ's got to be aware of the amount of second chance points Metel do give away. That's got to be something they compete for here tonight. Win or lose, PJ are going to the semifinals. Well, Gassi Gonzalez, good defense. Sembayar taking on Kosasi, good move, but McCullough gets a rebound. And now here comes PJ. McLaughlin working with McCullough. Has a size mismatch, goes in, bumps. Foul's going to be called. Well, this is the area where Metel ran into issues because they only have 2 natural centers tonight. Sembayar of 99 and, of course, Lakvayak 24, who is on the bench. And both of those 2 players cannot afford to get into foul trouble. Well, Chris McCullough at the free throw line. Well, drafted into the NBA, originally from the Bronx, New York City. Played his university basketball only one season at Syracuse, 2015 first-round pick, 29th overall by the Brooklyn Nets. Can only convert one free throw. Well, here's the penetration of Jaya. Nowhere to go. Good defense by Jaya. Has to put up a circus shot and somehow gets that one to drop. Well, what a move in the end by Zodig Batar, getting the first field goal of the game. McLaughlin now finding McCullough. Jaya patiently passing the ball around. Nice move by Gontada. Agassi went baseline. And that's a big part of his game. He's definitely improved over the years. Of course, Agassi Gontada, a regular feature for the Indonesian national team. Batsarig now coming off a double screen. Pulls up from mid-range. Another good look at Sain Bayat. Great job battling for the offensive board. Metzel will get it back. Well, fresh 14 for Bishrelt Metzel. Another penetration. There's a three. Three is up. Another good look for them. And Sain Bayat again diving on the ground. And that's what Coach Tsepelis wants to see. But can they get something? Another ball screen. There's a penetration. Goes in. Avoids the block. And are you kidding me? Well, Jaya. Well, I'm just impressed that he didn't get rejected by McCullough. But now McLaughlin goes quickly. And that's the thing about Jaya. If you make mistakes, they'll make you pay. But in this case, if you get things right, they'll still make you pay. Transition defense must be on point tonight for Bishrelt Metzel. KJ now in a 2-1-2 zone defense. Well, they turn it over. And now Pelita Jaya and a hard foul committed in the end by Batsarig. Well, again, we welcome everybody watching live on FIBA's international YouTube platform. If you're watching this game, please hit the like button on this live stream, subscribe to FIBA on YouTube, and make sure you follow BCL Asia on Instagram, X, and Facebook. It's now Bishrelt Metzel deviating in a 2-3 zone, and Kosasi goes in, and Vincent. Well, not only is he the best three-point shooter, but now Vincent getting buckets in the paints. I'm quoting you on Endikar Prastawa. Zuri Bata. Now finding Sain Bayat. Going at Kosasi, the big fella. Well, exchanging buckets inside the paints. Jaya still lead by one. But now McLaughlin, they go into the screen, fires a three, and he sinks this one. Well, Metzel's defense has got to learn how to adjust to these ball screens, especially with the plethora of three-point shooters. Jaya lead by 2 possessions. Well, there's another long 2-point, not going to go. But Metzel now getting the 3rd offensive rebound, and that's a huge plus for them. Now coming off one screen. Another kick out. Has to put up a tough contested 3, and again, that's not going to go. As Agassi Gontada now looking to lead the brigade. Finds Origi. Origi fires a 3. Easy offensive rebound by McCullough. Another foul. And if that's on Sain Bayat, that's going to be a second personal. Well, I don't think there's much you could do there, but nobody putting a body on him, if anything. And that indeed, that's Sain Bayat's second personal foul. So Pelita Jaya, Coach Justin Tatum, wants to talk this one over with his team. We will be back in just under 1 minute, 6:05 to go here in the first quarter.
Want to run the game. We must stop him. We must stop doing it. The only guy who stay here to press the ball is the guy who has this guy with the ball. All the other 4 guys stay back. Okay? Stop the transition, guys. Stop. We have 1 foul to give. 1 foul to give. Our offense. We play fist move, but after of this screen, you pass the ball. then go and make this real screen and pass the ball here.
Well, Coach Justin Tatum, think he's probably called this timeout to maybe, I'm not quite sure whether it's to adjust their defense, because they are also playing a 2-1-2 zone, but maybe different aspects of how to attack the 2-3 zone defense from Bishrelt Mattel. It's McCullough now at the free throw line. Second free throw made of the night here for Chris McCullough. Because he's a very talented big. He stands at 6'9", that's 206 centimeters. His first time playing international basketball was after leaving his time with the Washington Wizards, where he played for the Shanxi Brave Dragons in the CBA in China. Of course, also played in the PBA in the Philippines, Anyang KGC in the Korean Basketball League. Mattel down by 6. Ball goes in for the pump fake. Oh, again, beautiful move, but he can't finish. Well, here's where Peja want to attack, and again, good defense. Zaya just preventing Agassi Gontana going baseline. Double change coming into the game. McLaughlin leaving Yesaya Saudale, as well as Kosasi checking out. So KJ McDaniels coming into the game for the first time. .538 to go here in the first quarter. Saudale will inbound this for Peja. McDaniels finds Origi. 3 in the corners up. And unable to roll in, but an offensive rebound. And Agassi can't finish. McDaniels comes up with it. Scramble on the floor again. KJ! Look at the hustle. McCullough goes in. Another foul. Counted! Oh, again, that is all down to KJ McDaniels. Wow. Let me tell you something. If you want a promotion, you got to work hard like KJ, baby. Diving on the floor, getting the assist. And unfortunately for Mattel, that's a third foul against Saint Bayard. Coach McCullough now at the free throw line. Many fans in Chinese Taipei will remember him, former New Taipei Kings and Formosa Dreamers player. Heavy defense coming from Pelita Jaya. Mid-range shot goes up. That's a nice little takeaway by Isaiah. Second field goal for him tonight. Still a 6-point lead to the defending champions of the IBL. And Origi's going to get called for an offensive foul. Slightly out of control. Checking into the game for the first time. Rackman subbing in for the first time here tonight. Coach has had quite a good run here in BCL Asia East. Of course, Reggie Mononimbar also in for the first time here for Peja. There's a penetration, avoids the block, goes in, a tough move. Well, nice take there by Batsarig. That's his first 2 points of the night. A 4-0 run currently from Mattel. McCullough has been tough to defend so far. Kicks out. Oh, KJ's got a mismatch. KJ pump fakes, goes in. Oh, again, fights for his own rebound. No foul called. And Mattel comes up with it. Here's where they've got to be clinical in transition. Try to get buckets. Can make this a one-possession ball game, just over 4 minutes. Well, it's going to be a turnover. Well, here we go. And a foul is going to be committed. That's going to be free throws coming up for KJ. Well, that's going to be the first foul against Isaiah. Now, because PJ have to remember, they're going to play in the BCL Asia East Final Four. I think if you see there, KJ McDaniels slightly, you know, I mean, he wants to go for the open runway, go for an open dunk, put on a show. I mean, that's KJ's play, but because if you ever get a chance to meet KJ McDaniels, well, he's an MVP on the floor, and he's the most valuable person off the court. Clemson University, drafted by the Sixers, 2014. Of course, 1 season with the 76ers, 2 years with the Rockets, Brooklyn Nets. But they love him in the Philippines. TNT Tropan Giga, NLEX Road Warriors, and the Morocco Bolts. Mattel passing the ball around. But time is winding down here on the shot clock. Another circus shot goes flying, can't get it. McKellar comes up, and now PJ have numbers. McDaniels kicks out. Rackman had the penetration. Finds McDaniels, and oh my goodness! Here we go, PJ fans. Terima kasih. Well, that is surely sama-sama, baby. Well, you knew it was coming. A foul is going to be committed by Aldi Rackman. So free throws coming up here for Bishrelt Mattel. Oh, look again. Sama-sama, baby. KJ serving one up. Well, Isaiah was very influential, the man at the free throw line here for Bishrelt Mattel in that tough game against Tayo Empire Pilots. You know, you got to give credit to these Bishrelt Mattel players. Of course, the injury to Byron Wesley preventing him being active tonight. And nobody can argue whatsoever that Mattel don't play hard. They play hard. It's now Saudali in the corner. McCullough offensive rebound. Now Mano Nimba attacks, finds again. Oh, sama-sama, baby. You know it's going to be happening all night long. Well, McCullough inside the paint. Now makes it an 8-point ball game. Well, this is a good look for Mattel. It's wide open. The three is made. And Zugir, baby. That only cuts it down to a 5-point deficit. That's a rig. Right now, 5 points this evening. Well, this is good for Mattel. They can cut it down potentially to a one-possession ball game. This team playing for pride at the moment. Well, another three goes up, and that almost looked like it was going in. And here comes McKellar. Comes up with it, finishes, extends their lead to 7. PJ playing high-tempo basketball. Now just 2 minutes left here in the first quarter. Well, Mattel have another wide open look. This is good for them. It's a high percentage shot. And again, that's what they've got to take. Oh, beautiful three. Bayaklar. Well, Mattel's still in this one. Very patient offense coming from Bishrelt Mattel. As long as the shot's a high percentage, wide open looks, nobody can argue. But now KJ. Sensing the ISO. Going for the back down. Well, good passes. Saudali goes for a second three in the corner. Can't get it. And that's good defense by Bishrelt Mattel. Well, now Pelita Jaya going into a matchup man-to-man defense. Can Mattel find the open looks? Good pass, and now another three goes up. And Uchlara Darouzi. Well, they're competing, cutting it down to 1 point. As now we're under a minute to go here in the first quarter. The Mattel fans live here in the UG Arena. This is what they want to see from their team. McDaniels. One more pass. Patient play by PJ. Aldi Rackman left wide open, and he responds. This is good basketball we're seeing both teams. Crisp ball movement, getting good looks from the perimeter. Well, the good thing about that three by Aldi Rackman, a 2-for-1 on the cards now. A nice little pick and roll, but good hands by McDaniels. Saudali looking to run, but he's not going to keep this one in bounds. So it will indeed be Bishrelt Mattel that can have the final shot here of the first quarter. Well, right idea from PJ. Just a bit of a tough pass for Saudali to keep him bound. Well, they've got to keep this one under control. Well, an unsportsmanlike foul is going to be called against Chris McCullough, which means Lakvayag who's only just checked into the game, is going to get 2 free throws. And they'll get the ball back. Well, why? Well, this is where Bishrelt Metel must capitalize, because now you can have 2 possessions if you make both these free throws. Well, Vincent Kosasi coming back into the game. But McCullough's been brilliant. Offensively, he's been unstoppable. Just a moment of frustration. You know, he's not that kind of player. Well, Lakvayag unable to hit the first one. Because if you consider both Lakvayag, number 24, and Sam Bayan, double 9, they've had to take on the heavy responsibility of matching up with some of the bigs here in Group A, especially in this window at home. He's got to make this free throw. Well, he's unable to make them both. And what's interesting, those are his first 2 free throws here in this group. In 6 games they've played here in Group A. Five seconds left. Nice penetration. Goes in and finishes with a scoop wraparound layup. What a move by Isaiah. Well, I'll say it again. He had set 23 points against Taoyuan, and now he's got 7. Oh, no, he's got 11, excuse me. My apologies. Well, that's the end of the first quarter. We will return in just under 2 minutes. Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia for the 5th and final window of BCL Asia East. Of course, Group A fixture between Pelita Jaya and our hosts, Bishrelt Metel. Well, if you haven't been following us, we will be heading to the Final Four after this, in which both Pelita Jaya and Taoyuan have already booked their tickets. Metel down by 2, they can take the lead. It's up, and again, Bayaklar Zugir, baby. Batsarig buries the 3. And Metel have the lead. Well, they're playing with inspiration. McLaughlin now using the screen from Kosasi. He's made 1 3. Unable to get it. Vincent battling for the offensive board. Comes up with it. Kosasi goes in. Can't finish. And now Metel can push. PJ in a man-to-man matchup. Well, it's a turnover. Numbers. McLaughlin comes up, he finishes, and he gives PJ the 1-point lead. Well, nice finish by McLaughlin in the end. Metel going to this pick and roll. Well, they turn it over. McLaughlin comes up with it. Agassi runs, but no, they turn it over again. Well, you got to like what you see from Pelita Jaya because they're defending the ball screens very well. And as soon as they come up with a turnover, whether it's Muhammad Origi, Agassi, Gonzaga, this team gets out in transition quickly. Well, McLaughlin trying to pick up Zarig Batsara in the full court. Zaya leading scorer for Metzel with 11. Lakvayag coming up for the screen. And now McLaughlin's going to get called for a foul. Well, it's the second time tonight. Lakvayag, number 24 for Metzel, has caused a few problems here for the Page 8 players. Well, they're bringing back in Chris McCullough. Because what Page 8 does benefit, just having that size advantage. Well, fakes the pass, nice kick out. Got to make this one. It's up. Oh, baby, are you kidding me? What a big-time three-pointer. Erdene Tok nails the triple. And it's a 4-point lead to Metzel. Gonzaga with a little jump hook. And again, Agassi, second time off the dribble from the mid-range. Well, quite a good game we have here. Final matchup in Group A. And what you like to see, Metzel may go down, but they're going down with a fight here. Their final game in BCL Asia East. Final seconds, pulling up for another three. Can't get it. McCullough secures the rebound. Page 8 down by 2. McLaughlin drawing the foul against Zarig Batad. Well, there's the triple in the corner, giving them the cushion. And already Metzel coming out better from the perimeter than they have in the previous games here in this window. Origi for another three in the corner. Not going to go. Lakvayag gets the rebound. Oh, nice no-look dime finds Lakvayag. And again, you've got to love what you see from Bishrelt Metzel. Hot screen by Kosasi. McLaughlin, he's made 1 3. Can't get this one. Metzel happy to see that go out of bounds. Well, here again, the beautiful, sublime primetime dime coming from Isaiah, finding Lakvayag. And the defense just didn't see that one coming. Well, Justin Tatum, I think he's just having a few words with Glenn Cornelio, our referee. I'm not quite sure, actually, but I think it was probably because he called a timeout. Well, I had the chance to speak with Coach Tatum today. I'll tell you what, I mean, he is just such a great person. You talk to him, and it's a new team he's working with. He's come from the Australian NBL, but he's inherited the defending champions of the IBL. And, you know, you speak to him, he's really learning about his players. But I think now what he's expecting for them, just a little bit more insurgence on defense. Timeout. We'll be back in under 1 minute.
Down here. Stay in front of the guy. I'll talk to these officials and these other assholes on the side. You do your job. Let's go, man. Come on, man.
I'm assuming that the conversation is probably about he wanted to call the timeout quick. I'm not quite sure 100%, but because Page 8 right now down by 1, Metzel will get it back, and you got to give Metzel credit because without their import player tonight, Byron Wesley, 28 points in that opening game in this window against Ennis Matrix Diaz, and unfortunately did go down to an injury with the Achilles. Nothing too serious. He'll be ready for the Domestic League Finals Game 4 when they play against their rivals, the Broncos. Saudali now being aggressive on defense, matching up with Isaiah. Isaiah bumps. Another kick out, another three here in the corner, and again, that one's too short. Well, McCullough got quickly ahead in transition, and another foul's going to be committed. And that's on Lakveg. That's his first personal foul. I don't think those are the kind of fouls, given how imperative he is to this lineup, that he needs to give away. Remember, it's only him and Saint Bayard who are going to be the natural centers for this team. Mattel going into a 2-3 zone defense. Page have got to move it quicker against this. McCullough pump fakes, but he steps out of bounds, turns it over, but acknowledges his mistake. Because he had a very good season playing with Rytas Vilnius, who are currently defending champions of the Lithuanian LKL. Very well experienced travel basketball player. Final 10 here. Goes to penetration. He just takes Kosasi down the middle. What a move by Erdene Tok. Well, that was a tough finish. McLaughlin finds Saudale. Tries to go baseline, but another turnover. Well, Page just a little bit shook at the moment. Just need a little bit more composure in the offense. Now we're under 6. Mattel can go for their biggest lead of the game. But a foul called against Saudale. That's only going to be team foul number 2. Well, changes coming in. KJ McDaniels re-enter play. McLaughlin and Saudale will take a breather. Reggie Mononimbar also subbing back into the lineup. Another bull screen. Wraparound scoop layup, can't finish. McCullough comes up with it. And now he's going to try to push this one. Agassi gets his pocket pick. Good defense. Zarik Batar, they got numbers. Finds Lakvayak, goes in, converts this one. Well, that might be the first time we've seen in this window Mattel converting turnovers into fast break points. That gives them a 5-point cushion. KJ finds McCullough. Mattel zone, causing problems here in the moments. McCullough pump fakes. Pulls up from 15 off the dribble. Cool as you like. And that was the response Page needed. Now we're into 5. Well, spin out here by Isaiah. Lakvayak not going to take on KJ in the paints. Now we're into 10 here on the shot clock. Well, goes in for another circus shot as McDaniels gets a rebound. McDaniels bumps, no foul called, fights for his own rebound. Mattel comes up with it. And another unnecessary foul picked up by Reggie Mononimba. Only the 13th foul, so Page do have 1 foul to give. Mattel, time winding down here. They're going for another deep 3. This one's up. And again, McDaniel secures the board for Pelita Jaya. McCullough posts up, nice kick out, finds Guantada. May have had his foot in the line. But a foul is going to be called against Isaiah. That's going to be his second personal. Well, Mattel, the insurgency is definitely there, but the problem is, I mean, there's not much more he could do there. You're trying to keep the much bigger 2'6" Chris McCullough away from getting the offensive board. Well, change coming in at the moment here for Bishrelt Mattel. Subbing into the game, Dulgane Echtog. McDaniels goes in. Can't finish, gets his own rebound. Well, tough play. First field goal tonight. Oh, no, excuse me. 6 points tonight here for KJ McDaniels. Well, KJ just simply relentless. 6 points, 5 rebounds for McDaniels. Lakvayak doesn't take many threes. That's not going to go. Kosasi covers this one for Pelita Jaya. Agassi wants to run. Again, just trying to move the ball around against the zone. Oh, Mono Nimba turns it over. Bit of contact goes in, can't finish, and the follow-up is good. And Mattel go back up by 3. Well, again, doing a magnificent job of converting every Page turnover into transition points. McCullough at the high post. Kicks out to Mono Nimba. Gontara will fire a 3. And that's not going to fall. Page's three-point shooting not as consistent here this evening. And again, can extend to a 2-possession lead here for the team currently battling in the Mongolian League Finals. Well, good defense by McCullough, but he turns it back over. Lakvayag on the baseline. It gives them a 5-point cushion. Well, Mattel still believing that they can get one victory here in the final game of BCL Asia East. Win or lose, Page, this game will have little relevance for them. They're still going. Kosasi wide open, bumps. And Vincent going to the free throw line. Well, nice pass by KJ McDaniels. Well, Vincent Rivaldi Kosasi, a local celebrity within Indonesia, huge fan favorite, also features for Indonesia's national team. Well, born and raised in Indonesia, but actually went to university at Zhejiang University of Science and Technology in Hangzhou, China. Of course, prior to coming to Pelita Jaya in 2021, played for the Indonesian Patriots. Two-time IBL champion. Kosasi will go to the bench. Wow, it's going to be an unforced turnover. Engtok just pushed the panic button, so Page will get it back, down by 4. 2:05 to go here in the second quarter. Mattel still in the lead. And again, just trying to break down the zone. Origi catch a tough one, but Origi turns it over. Well, McCullough made the cut, tried to go baseline. The pass should have been better by Muhammad Origi. Bit of full court pressure from Pelita Jaya. Mattel's got to take care of the basketball. Now Zarig Batab playing point guard duties due to the absence of Azaya. Another kick out. There's the baseline penetration. This is better from Mattel, but they've got to get something. Deep 3 goes up. But good closeout by Audi Rockman. He's now running 90 seconds. McDaniels splits the defense. Double hangs. Are you kidding me? Sama, baby. What a move by KJ King McDaniels. Well, Akumen Jaga, Akumen dribble. And KJ just went Akumen Jetak. Well, you ain't stopping KJ McDaniels. You can only hope to contain him. As now Zarig Batar will go to the bench for Mattel. Azaya coming back in. McDaniels converts the three-point play. And already 9 points for KJ. Well, McDaniels 1.5 rebounds away from a double-double. Well, good double team here. Goes out of bounds, and Page will get it back. And the full court pressure just causing too many problems at the moment here for Bishrelt Mattel. Well, that's great work by Saudali and Origi. And that's a poor foul to give away by Engtok because you're just going to send Saudali to the free throw line. Well, Saudali, 25 years of age. Of course, played at Pelita Jaya University. We started with Jaya in 2021, briefly went on loan to the Indonesia Patriots. Comes to 2023 IBL All-Star. And also an IBL champion last season when Jaya defeated Satria Muda. Well, timeout's going to be called by Coach Tsepelis. His team now trail by 1 with 1 minute and 10 seconds to go here in the second quarter. We will be back in just under 1 minute.
Four, 5. One screen here. When you pass the ball, step inside. Pass the ball again. The ball is here. Pass the ball, run. This guy goes here. Run. We have one pass here, one pass here. Let's go, guys. Play out of the space. Hey, we don't have fun here. Stop.
Welcome back, everybody. Live here in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. 5th and final window of Bishrelt Asia East. 8 teams, 2 groups, 24 games. 5th and final window. And then we'll have a Final Four to decide which 2 teams will play against the champions of the B-League, the CBA, the PBA, and the KBL, along with the 2 very best from the FIBA Vassal. Pelita Jaya will have that opportunity as they have already booked their tickets to the Final Four. This indeed will be the final game for Bishrelt Metzel. Nice kick out, finds Ensog. Probably should have taken the 3. Now he penetrates. Final seconds. Has to go off the dribble, a bit of a circus shot. Well, great work by Saudali as it does come off of Ensog, so Jaya will get it back. Jaya lead by 1. McDaniels now for an ISO. McDaniels goes in, doesn't get it, but he will go to the free throw line. Well, he's probably the most versatile player here in Bishrelt Asia East. I mean, he's a 3 stretch 4, but if you need to go to a small ball lineup, you can definitely play him as the 5. Well, if you speak to many fans in the Philippines, especially fans of NLEX Road Warriors, TNT Tropang Giga, and even the Morocco Bolts, who will most likely be the team that does represent the PBA at the Bishrelt Asia. That will be mid-June. I mean, they love KJ. His time in the PBA, an unforgettable experience. Foul has been called, and that's going to be the 4th and final team foul against Pelita Jaya, so no more to give. Metzel looking to tie this up. Maybe take the lead with a 3-pointer. There's the ISO. Oh, nice kick out. Ensog got to take this one. Well, that was a good team play. Maybe another 3 coming up. Well, they've given up 2 opportunities. Oh, nice dime goes in and they level things up. Final seconds. McCullough's got to force this one up. There it is. Doesn't goes in. That is the end of the first half, where we are level at 40 apiece live here in Ulaanbaatar for the FIBA Bishrelt Asia East. Well, we'll leave you with stats and then we'll show you the top highlights, and we will return for the second half in under 15 minutes. has achieved here in BCL Asia East, and that would be a potential triple-double. While Mattel have come out really guns a-blazing in this game. Pelita Jaya leading the scoring at the moment with 11 points. He's currently 1 out of 3 from the perimeter, 4 out of 7 in total from the field, and he does have 4 assists. Well, Zarig Bata also joint leading in assists with 4 and also has 4 points. But, you know, it's a big response from the first 2 games for Coach Sepolis' players. This will be their final game here in this window, but they're going to go down with a fight. Now, they played well in the first half against Taiyuan Pilots. Question is, can they indeed do it for 2 more quarters? Well, this magnificent competition historically was known as the FIBA Asia Champions Cup. It came to light in 1981, in which the former Bai Rockets were crowned first ever champions, and it was Alvak Tokyo, the B-League, that won the final FIBA Asia Champions Cup in 2019. Well, we decided to take a short little break, but let me tell you something. We are back. We are bigger. We are the best Asian basketball competition. It is indeed the FIBA BCL Asia East. 2 teams out of 8, a total of 5 windows, 24 games, and then a Final 4 to see who will go on to play the champions of Japan's B-League, Korea's KBL, Philippines PBA, and China's CBA, along with the 2 very best from the FIBA Vassal. Well, it's going to be Pelita Jaya's first possession here in the second half. Chikori McLaughlin, number 55, will inbound this one. He has been monumental. Well, there is Isaiah, leading scorer in the game against Taiyuan Pilots, and he's got 11 tonight. He had 23 2 nights ago. Mattel going into his own defense. Quintana going for a quick 3, and that's way off the mark. Well, Mattel can't take the lead. Well, PJ going back into a man-to-man matchup. Lakvayak coming up for a screen. Isaiah's got 6. 3 is up, 2 short. Good defense by Kosasi. And that's an area where Vincent Kosasi doesn't get enough credit, as Origi hitting the first 3-pointer of the game for him and giving PJ a 3-point lead. Well, Saya Punya, Duakita, Semangat, Pelita Jaya, or maybe that's 3, I don't know, but well, Mattel trying to tie it up and responding again with another 3. Batsarig hitting his second one, now becoming second player for Bishrelt Metal into double figures. And again, we're level. McLaughlin pump fakes. Foul's going to be called on the ground. Sideline ball coming up to PJ. Well, if this is going to be the final game for Mattel, you want to see it go right down to the wire. McLaughlin, heavily defended by Batsarik. Trying to find McCullough baseline. Kosasi goes in, and Vincent, Lord Vincent as they know him back in Indonesia. Well, Kosasi tonight, 5 points. Foul's going to be called against Muhammad Origi. That's only the first team foul against Pelita Jaya. Both teams have 1 foul so far here in the first minute 30. 2-point lead to PJ. Oh, nice little spin, extra step, and again, Zugir, baby. What a move by Batsarig. Now leading score for Bishrelt Metel with 13. You like Metel's zone defense, putting pressure on the perimeter. As McLaughlin from the high post. And now Mattel can take the lead. Isaiah coming off one screen from Lakvayak. Well, you want to put the ball in the hands of Isaiah or Batsuri, both of them the most creative players here for Mattel. Well, Isaiah crosses over, little teardrop, gets his own rebound. Mattel get another shot at it. Well, an offensive foul is going to be called against Lakvayak. Getting tangled up with Vincent Kosasi. Let's have a look at the replay here. Well, that's a right call because unfortunately Lakvayak, well, the local legend of Jakarta checking into the game. So it will be Prasida Widyadana checking in. He's played a few minutes so far here at BCL Asia East. Gassi again for mid-range. Now has 6 points. Smooth move by Gontada. Again, I've been very impressed with his development over the years. Seen him many times in FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers and World Cup qualifiers. And that mid-range improvement really has improved a lot from Gontada. Another kick out. Lakviag on the baseline, tying things up. Both teams exchanging field goals at the moment. McLaughlin kicks out. Brassi down the corner. Can't get the three, and now Metzel can take the lead, but they're not pushing it. Well, the lack of depth means they do have to conserve their energy. They don't quite have the rotation abilities as Pelita Jaya. But again, they can reclaim the lead. There's the three. Three is up. Three is good by Akhlad Ulaanbaatar, baby. And a 3-point lead to Metzel. Gontada thinks about it. Dribbles into traffic. McLaughlin finds McCullough. He'll fire a three and levels things up, and it's just as easy as that for the defending champions of the IBL. More than 4 minutes here in the third quarter. Nothing to separate these two teams. Well, good defense by McCullough, but Metzel come back up with it. Batrick now working around the screen. Batrick trying to bump. Steps through, little teardrop, and that's way off the mark. And PJ run quick. Eurostep goes in. What a move by McCullough, finishing in transition. Well, he's having a game of games at the moment. 16 points, 8 rebounds. Of course, PJ now only 4 out of 18 from the perimeter. That's been the one area of development tonight. But they do have a 2-point lead. Batrick puts up another three, and again, everything flying in from Metzel. Well, that is now the 7th three-pointer out of 17 attempts. A big improvement from their opening 2 games here in this window. 1-point lead to Metzel. McLaughlin finds McCullough. Now from 15. Well, he's cooking right now here in the third quarter. The former Brooklyn Net. What a game we have tonight. Well, Zaya now tries his luck and make that three-pointer number 8. Ulaanbaatar. The weather forecast, heavy rain coming down. The Metzel simply drowning the defense with every three-point attempt. Pressing to try to go baseline. And he steps out of bounds, turns it over. Triple change coming in for Pelita Jaya. Coach Justin Tatum bringing all 3. Aldi Rackman, Yesiah Saudali, and KJ McDaniels back into the lineup. Well, incredible performance from both Batsarig and Isaiah. Combined total of 30 points, 16 and 17. Well, good defense by Saudali. Rackman is going to finish this one, leveling things up at 56 apiece. Batsarig with 16. Now working the screen with Lakvayak. Well, he's got confidence, throws it up. Oh my goodness! This man is unconscious. 9th three of the game for Bishrelt Metzel. Well, it looks like they were saving their best for last in this 5th and final window of BCL Asia East. McCullough goes for another one. He's been on fire, but he's unable to convert. And Metzel will slow this one down. Now remember, Pelita Jaya fans, whether you win or lose, it has little relevance because you are going to the Final Four of BCL Asia East. Saudali finds Gontada. He can tie things up. Still struggling from the perimeter. And a foul is going to be called against KJ McDaniels. That's only his first personal foul of the game. .3:11 to go here in the third quarter. Metzel lead by 3. Well, the three-point shooting really has inspired this team, and you got to think, had they made these amount of threes against Ennis Matrix Sears, they could have won this game. Byron Wesley, their import, did have 28 points in that game. As now Adene Tok tries to penetrate. Only have to put up one to avoid the 24. Good defense by Page. McDaniels wants to run, but nobody with him. Kicks out to McLaughlin. Patient ball reversal. Well, Gassi, that's going to be a traveling violation. Well, he just lost his balance on the jump stop, and that's an unfortunate turnover for Pelita Jaya. Well, maybe there might be a change of call. Referees are just having a discussion. Yeah, foul's going to be called, so it's going to be. Well, the question is it on the ground, or will it be free throws here for Agassi? Well, here's a penetration. You know what? That's a good call. That is a very good call. So our referee from the Japanese B-League, Haruga Iwai, in respect to our referee Alexei Stepanenko, because he's got the closer view, and it would look like a traveling violation. But Haruga Iwai on the other end has just seen the trip. So again, that's why we have three of the very best referees in FIBA Asia tonight, and that's how they work as a team. Agassi Gontada makes both free throws, provisional substitution. Mohamed Origi coming back into the lineup. Metzel lead by one. Trying to break down the zone pressure. Isaiah penetrates. Tough pass. Gets rejected. While KJ McDaniels with the denial. Incredible stuff. What a block by KJ King McDaniels. Well, KJ said, Tidakti Romaku, not in my house. Goodbye. What a block shot. Still a baseline possession to Bishrelt Metzel. Got to get this one inbound. Well, they get inbound, they avoid the 5 seconds, and extend that lead to 3. Well, that was quite a quick play. Page again, patiently breaking down the zone. McDaniels in the paint, double pump fake, can't get it, but the follow-up by Aldi Rackman. Second chance points going in favor of Pelita Jaya. Still a 1-point lead. Now we're into 2 minutes. Isaiah penetrates. Goes for a tough step back contested three and make it number 10. 30 points out of 64 have come from the three-point line. And Coach Justin Tatum's seen enough. He's going to call timeout. 20 points from Isaiah. Well, he's looking like a Mongolian Stephen Curry at the moment. Bayakla Zugir, baby. Well, we will be back in just under 1 minute. What a game we have tonight.
Six might be out right now. 7 is hot, okay? Now, anytime 7 and 6 is in a ball screen, we're hulking them. That means we're trapping. Anytime 7 and 6, that means we're trapping. You understand me? All right? If they happen to do it, you got to keep a hand up. There's no way we got to keep our hand down on 7 and 6. Offensively, it's not our problem. Get the ball in, and let's make sure we get a layup or open jump shot on the swing. That last swing was good, okay? So on a make basket right now, 12 big cute, okay? On the miss, black. If 7 and 6 get it, we hulk them. We got it? All right, turn these 2 minutes up. Let's go. Go! Defense.
Okay, let's get 3 stops in a row. We ain't done it yet. Let's get 3 in a row. End the quarter.
Welcome back, everybody. Live here in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. The final game of Group A between our hosts. Joint hosts of this window, Bishrelt Metzel, lead by 4 against the defending champions of the Indonesian Basketball League, Pelita Jaya. Well, the 10 3-point field goals coming from Metzel has been a positive note tonight. Saudali about to throw this one away. And it's another unforced turnover tonight here from Pelita Jaya. Well, they have at times shown some vulnerabilities in breaking down this simple 2-3 zone. Making a change now. Bringing back in Chris McCullough. Slightly going bigger. Six seconds here on the shot clock. Good hands by Saudali. 4.6. So Mattel's got to go for something quicker. And a timeout is going to be called by head coach Evangelos Tsepelis. Probably to draw up something from this sideline, which would give them their biggest lead of the game. Well, the timeout has been called. We will return in just under 1 minute.
Now, I want for you, we have 4 points. Shook is inbound there. Shook. You are here. Here is Situé. Here is Situé. Yes. Here is, who is the other? Bravo. Put it here. I want to make screen here. To make screen here. Kuka takes the ball. The same time, you run here. If this guy go here, pass the ball for one shot. Okay. Guys, if they play.
Well, exactly 1:07 to go here in the third quarter, but Bishrelt and Mattel have it on the sideline with only 4.6 on the shot clock. Because McDaniel's having a great night. Hasn't played much here in the third quarter, but 5 rebounds, 8 assists away from something that's not been achieved here in BCL Asia East, and that is a triple-double. Well, you got to get it inbound. They got to go quick. Batserick, no time. He's got to put up a prayer. The 3 is up. McCullough secures a rebound. Page 8 down by 4. Well, they've got to be quicker moving the ball in the zone. Now run to 10. Yesaya goes baseline. Finds Rackman. Rackman penetrates, and it's another Page 8 turnover. Well, the absence of Anthony Bean and Akara Prostawa, considering Ja'Cory McLaughlin's on the bench, just goes to show this is where Page 8 have been vulnerable here in these BCL Asia East windows. The lack of a natural point guard. Well, good defense by KJ, but can Page 8 get something? McDaniels goes in the lane, can't finish. Huge rebound by Lakvayag, and can Isaiah go? But nobody running with him. Chris Mattel could probably stretch the lead, just a few more runners. Well, tough to in the corner, and that's not going to go. And that's the end of the third quarter. Final 10 minutes. Remember, Page 8 are already going to BCL Asia East Final Four. For Mattel, they've definitely played with pride. Can they finish their final game with a win in front of their fans here at the UG Arena in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia? Well, we're going to take a short break. We will be back in under 2 minutes. Hello and welcome back. Fourth and final quarter here in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. BCL Asia East Group A final matchup between Pelita Jaya, currently trailed by 4 points, against our joint co-hosts, Bishrelt Metel. Well, Metel will begin the fourth quarter with an unnecessary turnover. The Sambat throwing that one away. PJ shifting up the defense. Going into his zone defense after quite staying in a man-to-man matchup in the third quarter. McDaniels in the corner finds Rackman. Takes a three, can't get it. McCullough with another rebound. PJ baseline. That's going to be a traveling violation, unfortunately. Well, this is where you've got to credit Bishrelt Metel's defense. Rotating, crashing, collapsing. Zaya going in. Loses control of it, but Metel will retain this on the baseline. He's open in the corner. He'll get the ball to him, but he takes it himself. Nasambat makes three-pointer number 11. That's incredible. They struggled to make as many as 5 or 6 in the first two games in this window. Now Saudali for three. 13th rebound. McCullough already has a double-double, 18 points, and that indeed is his 13th rebound. Well, I'm just impressed with what we're seeing from Bishrelt Metel, because it's amazing how much confidence a team can play when they make the three-point shots. And I'll stress the question again. Had they made this kind of, well, if they converted as many threes against Ennis Matrix Diz in the opening game of this window, they may have just would have given themselves a chance of qualifying the top two, but that's not possible now. McCullough now makes the first free throw. Converts both of them, cutting it down to a 5-point ball game. Oh, they come up with it. Saudale. Oh, he misses the layup. And now Isaiah wants to run. Another kick out, three-pointer number 12. Sixth rebound for McDaniels. Josiah running, going in and missing another one. And make that another layup there, for rebound for KJ. Oh, McDaniels now picking up his 7th rebound of the night. I tell you what, never question the motivation of Josiah Saudale. May have missed 2 layups, but he's working. He's working, the young fella. He's going to go to the bench. Muhammad Origi coming back into the game. Gontada makes the first free throw. 7 points tonight for Agassi Gontada. Because PJ tonight, they've converted indeed. Well, it's now 16 out of 20 from the free throw line. So that's one positive note for Pelita Jaya. Still a 3-point lead to Metel. Metel's been cooking from the perimeter, 11 out of 25 from the 3-point line. Batsuri turns it over. Now they have numbers. Origi goes in, tries to finish, and what a take by Muhammad Origi. Now it's only a 1-point deficit. 6-0 run currently from the defending champions of the IPL. Well, Ainsog thought about it. And you can see Bishrelt Metel want to take that time. Isaiah 3, number 12. Well, it looked like he was going in. Almost 2 minutes played here in the fourth and final. Foul drawn by KJ. I said little hesitation. Just lures the defense in. There's now Lakvayak subbing back in for Metel. Well, it's inspiring how they played. Can they hold on? Going into a 1-3-1 zone defense. This is where Pelita Jaya have had their troubles. McCullough heavily defended by Lakvayak. Tries to penetrate. No offensive foul. Can't finish. Foul's been called, so free throws coming up for Aldi Rackman. That's where PJ have got to dig a little bit deeper tonight. Get as many second shot ball. Have to see another look at that one. And that's going to be Latvijag's third personal foul of the night. And a chance here for PJ to reclaim the lead. Well, Coach Seppel has given Latvijag a breather, so Sain Bayard is going to check back into the lineup, and he has 4 fouls. So I'm guessing he's probably going to keep the big man in just to see how far he can go here to relieve Latvijag. Aldi Rackman at the free throw line now here for PJ. 7 points this evening. First trip to the charity stripe. Well, he's been a great utility play, especially in the lineup here for Pelita Jaya and Bishrelt Asia East. It's a big year for them domestically in the IBL, but he's unable to hit the second one. Nothing separated these two teams now. Still a zone defense from Pelita Jaya. Masamba kicks out. Batsarik. Time winding down. Isaiah finds Sain Bayard. Gets rejected. Well, they've got to shoot it. Shot clock. And great defense by McCullough. Now picking up his 14th rebound. Well, Gassi goes in and gives PJ the momentum. And a timeout is going to be called by Evangelos Sepelis. PJ making the comeback. Semangad Pelita Jaya. Well, a huge turnaround here in the fourth quarter. And we will be back in just under 1 minute. Welcome back. We're live here in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. Final minutes coming up here in the fourth quarter in the final game of Group A. Pelita Jaya have now retaken the lead on a very impressive 9-0 run. Of course, I got a question for all the Indonesian fans watching live on FIBA's YouTube. Jam berapa sekarang? Is it PJ time? PJ staying in his own defense. Batsarik step back three. Well, have Bishrelt Metzel cool down finally. McDaniels in no need to rush. PJ looking to extend to a 2-possession lead. McCullough finds out Rackman. Rackman goes baseline. Can't finish. But PJ come up with it. Gontana for three. McDaniels! Sama, baby. Terima kasih. Are you kidding me? KJ with no regard for Bishrelt Metzel's box out. Well, incredible. KJ, don't do that, KJ. Don't do that, baby. Welcome to the house of KJ King McDaniels. Well, that putback dunk does give Pelita Jaya a 2-possession lead. Nearly 6 minutes to go here in the fourth. Isaiah bumps, goes in, nothing finishing. McDaniels now with another rebound. And a foul is going to be called, so McCullough will go to the free throw line. Well, KJ McDaniels actually needs one rebound to get that triple-double. A double-double, excuse me. Well, he needs 8 assists to get to a triple-double, but as Chris McCullough has had a very dominant performance, 20 points, 14 rebounds. Now can extend PJ's lead, but he missed the first free throw. Well, 6:02 to go here in the fourth quarter. Chance to give them a 5-point cushion. Well, McCullough converts the second one. 21 points. Bit of full court pressure again from PJ. And it's going to be a foul. That's only the first team foul against Pelita Jaya. Bishrelt Metzel have already committed 5 team fouls, so PJ already in the penalty, but that, as mentioned, surprisingly, over 4 minutes, finally committing the first one. Well, Metzel's got to get it inbound. Batsering, got it by Muhammad Origi. Azaya, got it by Yesaya. Well, that's another turnover. KJ comes up with it. McDaniels, bobs. Oh my goodness! Count it! Well, KJ King McDaniels just went coast to coast. Well, no force on heaven or earth is going to stop KJ. What a take. Well, this again is what I like to call in Indonesian basketball. A kumen jaga, kumen dribble, and a kumen cetak. Terima kasih. Sama-sama, baby. KJ, just too dominant. Well, that's tough there because Bishrelt Metzel have been great for 3 quarters. If he converts this 3-point play, they'll only be down by 8 points. Unable to make it. Still time here for Metzel. They've been terrific so far. But they've got to get something here offensively. That's going to be the second team foul. Well, not too much of a concern for Pelita Jaya. They have the momentum. They have the 7-point cushion. Metzel getting it inbound. That's a penetration. Final seconds. Got to make something happen here. Has to put up a prayer for McDaniels. Good defense. And now PJ. Oh, Sal Dali almost stepping out of bounds. They don't need to rush anything. Just keep passing the ball around. But there's a turnover. Batsering comes up with it. Batsering bumps. Goes in, jump hook, finishes. And now becomes Bishrelt Metzel's leading scorer. And cuts it down to a 5-point ball game. I thought he was going to make contact, try to go for the and one, but fakes the pass, looking like Rajon Rondo with that move. But that gives Bishrelt Metzel a little bit of hope, a little bit of belief. Only down by 5, and the same goes to PJ. Slow things down. Remember, you're going to the Final Four. McDaniels now with a mismatch. Nice give and go, finds Guantana. McDaniels picking up his 3rd assist of the game. 7-point lead to Pelita Jaya. Batsering pump fakes. One more pass. Nasambat deep 3, and it buries it. Wow, huge 3-pointer for Bishrelt Metzel. And Coach Justin Tatum calling timeout. It's only Welcome back. Final 4 minutes, 11 seconds. We're live here in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. Final game of Group A here in the Bishrelt Asia East. Pelita Jaya trying to hang on to the lead and lead with a victory. Mattel staying in the zone. Good hands on defense, but PJ will get it back deep on the sideline. Well, as mentioned with PJ, no need to rush anything. Contada goes in, mid-range, simply undeniable by Agassi. 16 points tonight for the Indonesian national team player. Well, he's been big tonight. Nice take by Isaiah. Pump fake goes in. Oh, he missed the layup. Lakvayak rebound and gets rejected by KJ. Good hands on defense. Well, KJ McDaniels right now becoming the solid Indonesian insurance policy. There's a pump fake, and KJ said, "Tidak di rumahku," not in my house. What a block shot by McDaniels. McDaniels, I can't connect with it. Well, they have the 6-point lead, though. Under 3.5 left. Mattel's got to get something here. Batsarick now trying to take on McCullough. Twisting, turning, goes in. No foul call. Good defense. McDaniels goes in and he finishes in transition. Well, KJ, 16 points. Just needs one more rebound now to get that double-double. Well, an unsportsmanlike foul's going to be called, I think. Yeah. What a careless play by Aldi Rackman because they have an 8-point lead. Why? Let's have a look at the replay. What does Aldi Rackman do here? Oh, no. It's not on Aldi Rackman. My apologies. So my apologies to Aldi Rackman. It is unfortunately against Batsarick. And that was very careless. So PJ, a chance now to extend their lead to 10, and they'll get the ball back, I think. Well, Rackman makes the first free throw. Well, he's had a great game tonight, Aldi Rackman. Because he's been phenomenal for them in the Indonesian Basketball League. Second one just goes. Just 10 points tonight for Aldi Rackman, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. The job may just be about complete for Pelita Jaya. McDaniels on the baseline. Foul's going to be called, so KJ going to the charity stripe. Well, Mattel have stayed in the zone defense. They've been relentless. But it's just fair to say Pelita Jaya, defending champions of the IBL, have just relentlessly and very intelligently broken down the zone. Both free throws converted. 12-point lead to Pelita Jaya. 2:44 to go here in the game. Mattel trying to get anything they can here at the moment. Foul's going to be called against McCullough. It's only the 13th foul against Pelita Jaya. Sideline ball, the foul is on McCullough. But they had the momentum, the double-digit 12-point lead with 2:29 to go. Well, Audi Rackman just been given a reminder to make some space. As Zarig Batar trying to inbound this one. Lakvayak. Time not on the side now. Bishrelt Metzel, they've got to go quickly. Can't waste too much time. Nice little mid-range. Pull-up is up. McDaniels unable to get the double-double with the rebound. Nasabat had time, didn't go for it. Goes for three, and a foul is going to be called against McDaniels, so 3 free throws coming up for Metzel. Let's have a look here. Oh, it just says a follow-through, that's it. I mean, there's a clean connection with the ball, but it's unfortunately. Well, McDaniels is going to go to the bench. Shakori McLaughlin coming back in, and what a night for King KJ McDaniels. Well, 18 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. And he's also had 3 steals and 2 blocks. First free throw made. So Yunzel, that's his first point tonight. Well, they can cut it down to a 9-point deficit with 2:11 to go. And all PJ just need to do is run down every offense right to the end of every 24. If they get something quick, by all means, go for it. But what Metzel's got to do now, if they come up with a loose ball, try to go quickly in transition. Yunzel converts all 3 free throws. Is it enough to give Metzel some hope? McCullough now tries to force his way in, goes up, can't finish. Gets some rebound, finishes. 15 rebounds, 23 points. What a game for Chris McCullough. Not a lot of time, but a nice penetration, a beautiful finish by Isaiah. Well, he's 22 points tonight. 1 more field goal from, improving his 23 2 nights ago against Taiyuan Pilots. Well, McCullough's going to go to the bench. It's an all-Indonesian team along with Chris McCullough in the lineup. And again, they're in no mood to rush anything. Job might be done now for Pelita Jaya. Rackman gets stripped, good defense. Ayunso comes up with it. They've got to go quickly. There's another 3 in the corner, can cut it down to 6 and buries it. While Metzel not quite done yet. That is the 13th three-pointer of the game for Bishrelt Metzel. And they're only down by 6. Well, now would be the time to put on a full-court press. And it's going to be a traveling violation. Well, Coach Justin Tatum wasted no time as he's going to bring back in KJ McDaniels. And this is where the absence of Andikawa Prestauer really has affected this team. Well, imagine if Metzel make a 3 now. Just imagine. Well, another change. Batsarik, second leading scorer for Bishrelt Metzel, subbing back in. He's got 21 tonight. They could use a big play at the moment. Remember, PJ, no fouls to give. There's a crossover. There's the take, and a foul's going to be given. So free throws coming up for Isaiah. And a chance to cut this down to a 2-possession ball game. Foul is on Muhammad Origi. That's his 5th foul. He's done. Muhammad Origi's fouled out. So Audi Rackman is going to come back into play. Well, he's got to make these free throws. They were down by 12 just only a minute ago. Makes the first one. 23 points, as many as he scored 2 nights ago. I almost said last night. We had a day off yesterday. But he had 23 big points against Taiyuan Pilots. Can cut it down to 4 with this one. Got them both. Well, PJ turn it over again. Jaya comes up with it. Now under pressure. Well, he can cut it down to one possession. Good defense. Saudali comes up with it. Agassi, and there you have it. Salamat malam, Indonesia. Big time play by Chris McCullough, but the defense by Yesaya Saudali. Quick three pull up, not gonna get it. Well, it might just do it now. That might just be the curtain closer. As McDaniels gets fouled, he'll go to the free throw line. Well, the foul is on Yunzul. Well, he's just such a great professional for this team. The PJ Hollick, whoa. I think the home crowd are going to let McDaniels know that, but that's once in a blue moon. But going to KJ McDaniels, I mean, any pro team would love to have this man. Born and raised in Birmingham, Alabama, Clemson University, again, drafted by the Philadelphia 76ers. Missed them both. But almost came up with it. And Bishrelt Metzel just can't retain possession. Gontada finishes. And that is Salamat Malam, PJ Hollix. That might one tonight. Broncos of the Mongolia League will be taking on Adelaide at Singapore, and then tomorrow they'll take on High Tech. The absence of Ahmad Bayaskalan really affecting how Bishrelt Metzel. But you got to credit how this team has played tonight. They've competed against the champions of the Indonesian Basketball League, Pelita Jaya. We'll just have a problem right now with the scoreboard. Of course, there's no problem for you guys at home. We're just getting that sorted very shortly. 25 seconds. Metzel advancing the ball. No doubt they're going to go for a quick three. Well, the officials now just asking players to go to their respective benches because we're just facing a technical issue here at the moment. Of course, PJ Hollix watching live on FIBA's international YouTube platform. Remember, you have already qualified for the Final Four of BCL Asia East. It will be Tayu and Payan Pilots finishing in first, Pelita Jaya in second place in Group A. Because depending how the Broncos do in their final two games, could either be facing in the semifinals either New Taipei Kings of the TPBL and Chinese Taipei, or indeed the Broncos of the league here in Mongolia. Pelita Jaya made it to the BCL Asia last summer. In the city of gold, Dubai, 2 infamous victories against Gorgan of Iran, and a historic win, because many Indonesian basketball fans will remember one Justin Brownlee and James Dickey. What a game they had against the defending champions of the KBL and it was actually KCC Isis. Well, this magnificent competition, as mentioned already earlier in the game, was known as the FIBA Asia Champions Cup. Started in 1981 by Rockets of the Chinese Basketball Association, the first ever champions in 1981. And then the final champions of the FIBA Asia Champions Cup were Alvak Toku, the Japanese B-League, in 2019. Well, a little break a few years later, and we're finally back. But now we're different. We're bigger. We're better. We are the #1 Asian basketball competition. We are the FIBA Basketball Champions League Asia. Of course, what a great job FIBA Asia has done by revamping this competition, now dubbing it the BCL Asia East. And just think, BCL Asia 2025, from the 9th to the 15th of June, we're going to have the champions of Japan's B-League, Korea's KBL, China's CBA, the Philippines, Gilas Pilipinas' PBA. 2 very best from the FIBA Vassal, because that is going on right now. Defending champions, Al Riyadi Yakbiri, as they say in the beautiful west of Asia, along with 2 top teams from BCL Asia East. And then if that's not enough, well, wait till we get to August, the 2025 FIBA Asia Cup. Well, there's KJ McDaniels with a putback, and what a performance King KJ's had tonight. 18 points, 9 rebounds. Well, you got to credit Bishrelt Metel, because no Byron Wesley. 2 of their top domestic players who do play for Mongolia's national team, Ahmad Bayaskalan, who was one of their best players in the first window, unavailable. But still, they've competed tonight. And I've got to tell you something. If you ever come to Ulaanbaatar, this is now becoming a basketball city. Live in the UG Arena. It's a magnificent country. Basketball definitely becoming a national sport here in Mongolia. Well, finally we're back. We thank to all the patience of all the fans watching live on FIBA's official YouTube platform. And if you are watching, please hit the like button on this live stream and also subscribe to FIBA on YouTube. And why not follow FIBA on all platforms, BCL Asia and FIBA Asia Cup on Instagram, X, and Facebook to get all the best news, highlights, and content that matter to you most. Well, Mattel's got to go quickly, because they've had a great night. 43% from the three-point line. They've got to get something. Batsarik, pump fakes, off the dribble, fires up a 3. It's up. Almost got it. Soundali coming up with a rebound. McDaniels in no need to rush. Well, PJ have done their job tonight. They've come to Ulaanbaatar. A foul's going to be committed. And indeed, I think it's very appropriate to say now the player of the game, Chris McCullough, will go to the free throw line. Well, an outstanding professional. Chris McCullough, of course, played for some of the biggest teams here in East Asia. San Miguel Beerman in the PBA. And Yang KGC in the KBL. Of course, also played for BCL Asia East rivals, New Taipei Kings, and could very well meet his former employers. Of course, throughout the time he played in Europe, he played for Ritas Vilnius, another BCL Europe team. McCullough makes them both. Well, to all of our fans, the PJ Holics, Terima kasih sama-sama, baby, for joining us. We will see you at the BCL Asia East Final Four. PJ, they'll take the victory tonight. They win this one 92-82 against Bishrelt Metel. Well, a great debutante tonight for Coach Justin Tatum. A big win for him, and the Final Four is yet upon us. Well, please stick around. Wait for us on the live YouTube stream as I am heading courtside to meet the player of the game, Chris McCullough. We'll be with you momentarily. Player of the game, Chris McCullough, fantastic performance, big win for you tonight. What does it mean to you and your team to come to such a magnificent venue and to pick up the win?
We just trying to keep working hard in practice, come to play every game, get ready for the Final Four.
Of course, you guys are going to the Final Four, a big moment for you. You are the defending champions of the IBL, but what is going to be the objective?
To keep coming to practice, like I said, keep working hard, working on the little things, and just keep getting better every day.
Now, of course, UG Arena, Mongolian basketball, it's fantastic to be here. The crowd were excellent. What can you say about the opposing fans?
I love it. It's a great gym. It's a great atmosphere. I'm happy they had it here and happy we got the win.
Chris McCullough, thank you so much and all the best to you.
Appreciate it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the post-game press conference for the Basketball Champions League Asia East game between Team Pelita Jaya versus Team Bishrelt Metal. Team Pelita Jaya beat Team Bishrelt Metal 92-82. We now have with us the Pelita Jaya team coach, Justin Tatum, and player Chris McCullough have joined us. So may I ask you to switch off your mobile phones? The press conference will be conducted in English. Justin Tatum, can you please give us your comments about the game?
Very difficult game for us. Metal did a great job of, coming out playing with confidence, shooting the ball. I know they were down a couple guys with their imports, but I feel that their coach had them prepared, ready to go, and they shot the lights out. They really challenged us in many ways, had us confused on some different defensive options to where we really had to, dig down deep to find a way to get the win. So I tip my hat off to them, but for us, it was a good chance to get this victory up on our belt and get a chance to be in the top four in the BCL.
Chris McCullough, can you also share us your comments about the game?
Yeah, same thing. A really hard game. We knew that going into the game.
Can you please speak closer to the mic? Thank you.
Really hard game. We knew that going into the game from the jump. We just wanted to work on our defense this game and just get better, working on the little things. And we didn't do so good on that part, but I'm happy we got the win, just keep getting better day by day and just focus on the next game.
Okay, I now have a question for the both of you. The question will be, how important is it to close this part of the campaign on a high note before moving to the next phase of the competition?
It's huge. You want to find a way to get better as a unit, as a group, and compete in the BCL. So you don't want to lose, finish on a loss, right? And so we're working on our chemistry and our camaraderie. Especially, this is my first BCL game as a coach, my second game in the Indonesian league period. And so me getting used to my guys and find a way to push their buttons and get the team chemistry going is great, especially when you get a chance to do it under a win.
Yeah, same thing with what Coach said. We just trying to take each game one by one, working out with basketball, Pelita Jaya basketball, and really focusing on who we are as a team, get our camaraderie better, and just focus on winning each game, whatever we got to do.
Okay, I will now give the floor to the media to ask questions in English. I want to ask the media to first state their name and the media company they are representing.
Congratulations on the win, and I'm a host broadcaster for Premier Sports Network, and I have a question from a coach and about the game. Bishrelt Metal made a strong run in the second half, especially quarter 3. And what adjustment did you make to help your team respond and close out the game?
We had to find a way to pressure those guards. Number 6 and number 7 were lights out from the three-point line. And once they built their confidence, they gave their teammates confidence as well. To when they passed it to their teammates, they were confident in making the shots as well. So our adjustments was more up ball pressure on those guys, even sometimes trap them when they got a chance to get an open look. But we wanted to make sure that their two main guys felt our defensive pressure and found a way to wear them down. And in the last couple minutes, it was tough for them to get shots off, and we were lucky that they missed a couple.
Thank you. And from the player, Chris, you've played at high levels around the world, and how would you describe the level of competition in Basketball Champions League Asia tournament?
I feel like this is the highest level outside of Japan. There's a lot of good teams, a lot of great teams in here. Everybody fighting to get to the Final Four. So we just got to come with our A game, and like I said, every game is take it step by step and just keep getting these wins.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. This is the end of the first part of the press conference. We will be now back soon with the Bishrelt Metal team. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Welcome back to the second part of the post-game press conference. We now have with us Bishrelt medal team coach Evangelos Tsipelis and player Pelita Jaya. Evangelos, we would like to have your words about the game.
One more tough game for us. We don't have some players, but for me, this game it's one more lesson. We must trust. We must try to trust each other. We make this today. We share the ball. We found the good shoots. That means for us, this lesson we stay like this. We try to do the best. Only, I think I want to give congratulations to my players for the effort. I know it's very difficult for these guys to play with a lot of players because the other teams has a lot of players. Our roster now it's not so big, and I want to give congratulations for the effort. But we stay like this. We take the lesson and continue.
Pelita, your thoughts about the game?
Тавал тэгээд ер нь коуч хэлснээр бөмбөгөө сайн шилжүүлээ, багаараа тоглоё гэж ярилцсан. Тэгээд эхний хагаст бол манай тоглолтод яг тэр үгээр бол явсан. Тэгээд хоёрдугаар хагастаа жоохон тэгж чадсангүй хамгаалтын алдаанууд, тоглооны алдаанууд гаргалаа. Бөмбөг алдалтууд хийлээ. Тэрнээсээ болж ирнэ жилүүлээ. Тэгээд тиймэрхүү тоглолт боллоо.
About the game, in the first half, we played great basketball. We shared the basketball a lot better. I also moved the ball. We played team basketball, but in the second half, we didn't play as much as good as the first half, so that was the part of the loss for us.
We now have a question for both the coach and the player. Well, another year, another learning. What can you take away from this campaign, and what can you say about the team's motivation for the future appearances?
I think after this season with BCL, the teams take a lot of lessons. Now we are ready, I think, for the next season to be to protect our basketball, to play like a team, and this is the most important, the experience for the guys, for the players. And now I think it's one step for us.
Тэгээд ер нь бол бас специал тавснараа нэг шат ахлаа, тэгээд зөндөө зүйлүүдийг сурлаа. Тэгээд бид бас манай Монголын сагсан бөмбөг бас Азад бас яг гайгүй гэдгээ бас өөрсдөө бас жоохон ч мэдрэлээ. Тэгээд ирэх жил ер нь тэгээд хүчтэйгээр эргэж ирнэ л гэж бодож байна.
For me, playing in the BCL was one step up for my career, and also for Mongolian basketball, we felt so great about playing in the BCL, and also we felt great how we are in the Asian basketball leagues. So we're going to come back even stronger and fight harder next season.
Do we have questions from the media in English?
Hello, everyone. I'm from host broadcaster Premier Sports Network, and the first question is from Pelita. And you guys made a strong push in the third quarter. What was said in the locker room at a halftime and helped spark that energy in the second quarter?
Гуравдугаар үед ер нь тэгээд манайх эхний хагасаа сайн гүйцэтгсэн болохоор, сайн байж чадсан болохоор коуч маань биднийг урамшуулж, за энэ чирээ тоглоно. Тэгээд тиймэрхүү одоо хамгаалтан дээр жоох итэх гаргая. Тэгээд бөмбөгөө ахаад жоохон ширэлмээр гэсэн. Ер нь тиймэрхүү яриануудыг ярьж гарч ирсэн.
So in the first half, we played great. So we talked in the locker room that we had to play more aggressive defense on defense, and also coach wanted us to move and share the basketball better. So that's what we talked about.
And the last question is from the head coach of Bishrelt, and you've coached at various levels. How do you view the competition and intensity of BCL Asia so far? And I believe this is your first time.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And for me, it's the new experience. It's very nice experience for me because I saw the other teams how to play the basketball, and I think our level is the same now. I believe from Mongolia basketball, I believe for the Mongolia players, and I think for the teams it's very good to stay in the BCL, to try all together and to show all the countries about our teams.
And that's it. Thank you for the answers and good luck for the Mongolian National Peaks
Thank you.
basketball finals.
Thank you, Evangelist. Thank you, Batoyik. The post-game press conference is officially over. Thank you all.